Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Rogue Marketer. I'm your host, Mitch Barham, founder of Barham Marketing, and we are a digital marketing and consulting firm. So today, in this podcast, we talk all things, or I talk all things digital marketing, futures, trends, what's working now, and and answer questions. So today I wanted to talk about what I see in like the current trend on Google Ads, as well as like just the future of Google Ads. This will, in my opinion, this is really going to benefit everybody. You know, what we're seeing working phenomenally right now. A lot of people aren't using. They don't know how to use it. They don't understand it. They haven't taken the time to test it. So it's, really delivering cheap results compared to, search ads or, even Facebook ads. Like these results are coming in cheaper than a lot of Facebook ads. It's really crazy, but really fun all at the same time. I love delivering cheaper results to clients, love getting cheaper results for myself. And who doesn't like saving money, right? So without further ado, the future and the trend that I'm basically talking about is Google Performance Max campaigns. So if you don't know what Google Performance Max campaigns are, Google introduced these about a year and a half ago. At the beginning, they were absolutely trash. They were just garbage. Like they didn't work. They didn't have all the settings and optimization that they have now. So, I personally wasn't using them, tested it out, was like, this is garbage, not using this. This is just wasting money. Then over the year, like the last year, they've really refined it, and then they basically transferred smart campaigns. So if you were running smart campaigns, it got immediately converted over after a certain point into a Performance Max campaign without you having to do anything. Same thing with a lot of shopping campaigns. They got swapped over into Performance Max campaigns and just automatically done by Google if you didn't change them or say, hey, no, don't do that. So Google Performance Max campaigns are unique in the sense that it allows you to hit 5 sections of Google at one time or within one campaign, right? So you're able to hit search, display, the discovery page, Gmail ads. So if you go to like your promotions or social media tab, there will be 2 ads up there. They look like emails, but they're actually ads. And then lastly, YouTube. So being able to hit all these at one time, I mean, you're almost kind of like carpet bombing the web, right? Like you're just hitting every section of Google at one time. But what's really cool about Performance Max campaigns is you still get to customize each one of those sections. And where a lot of people fall short is not customizing those or not giving it enough elements to work with. Because we're hitting so many things at one time, Google Performance Max campaigns chew through images like crazy. They will burn through creative. It'll burn through YouTube ads, video ads. And you have to like basically have a backup of those because it'll burn through them in a week or two. So you always need to kind of have like a backup repository of videos that you can swap out, images that you can swap out. Otherwise, you're just going to you'll get results and then it'll trail off to zero. Then at the same time, the Google Performance Max campaigns, allow you, instead of like, let's compare it to search, just a regular search campaign. You feed it keywords and you say, hey, if they type this, show them our ad. You give headlines, descriptions, all that fun jazz, right? But you're really restricted to those keywords or what search terms Google thinks it associates with your website. So with Google Performance Max, though, we're literally able to create custom audiences, custom segments, and feed it existing website data. So custom audiences, right? And if you don't know what those are, that's where you go in and you say, hey, I want an audience built of people that have searched these phrases or these keywords. Also, I would like you to build into this audience people who have gone to these websites. So you can literally paste in websites, your competitors' websites, similar websites, niche oriented websites. You can go as far as saying they even adding in people who have certain apps on their phone. There's your custom audience. Like, you can get very granular with it, keep it very broad. I would recommend putting in a good amount of phrases and keywords and websites. You don't necessarily have to do the apps, but the first two you definitely need to be doing to feed the big, what I call the big data machine, information about who you want them to show your ads to. And that's one thing that when I ever get into a client's account or I'm auditing somebody's account, I see that there's no audience signals. So you're essentially throwing spaghetti at the wall, broad targeting, going, hey, Google, figure it out for me. I don't know. Let's see what happens. And then the ad fails or the campaign fails. And of course, everybody blames, well, it just doesn't work. And that's not true. You didn't give it enough information. So along with feeding all, and then at the same time, you're feeding at this these custom segments of people that you want. You're saying, hey, these are the people that we want the ad shown to. You can also, throw in your own data. So your website visitors, purchasers, leads, stuff like that, it's just more data for Google to work off of on how to show it to the right people. The more information you can give it, the quicker the ad will start to work or the campaign will start to work. If you give it minimal information, you're probably going to take 7 to 14 days to start even seeing conversions, right? It doesn't know what it's doing. So its learning time is a lot longer and its optimization time is a lot longer, which then just wastes a bunch of your money. So feeding it all of that info is like the most ideal thing you can do. You also need to make sure, like I touched on earlier, when it comes to creative, that you have a lot of creative. So within these Performance Max campaigns, you literally can add up to 20 images. So I would recommend that you use 20 images because it'll rotate through, right? And it finds out what works best. It knows what's going to work best for certain individuals, and you have all these different websites that it can show up on. So those are really going to be used in display, across YouTube, different websites, and like help with retargeting as well. But then at the same time of having those 20 images, have a good 10 to 20 more on the back burner ready to go as these assets start to get burned out and you start to see your results kind of trail off backwards. You can hop in and swap out the images from that asset group. And that's one thing I didn't talk about, and I just realized is Performance Max campaigns really work off of asset groups. So an asset group, if you run Facebook ads or even the search ads, you can look at it as like kind of an ad group is like the easiest way to explain it. But the difference with Performance Max campaigns is the asset groups, you need to use them. Let's say you're an e-commerce brand and clothing brand, just easy example. You have shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, pants, shorts, all of those need to be in their individual asset group with their own unique audience signals, their own unique images and videos. If you're sitting here saying, Mitch, I don't have videos for everything, what do I do? Good news, when you're doing the video part of Performance Max campaigns, you can use the built-in templates that they have and kind of create a video that will run across YouTube. And it hits YouTube as well as YouTube Shorts. So, you don't have to have a face-to-camera video. You can use one of the templates and build it that way. But each asset group needs to have all of its unique creative and audience signals. Don't just slap everything into one asset group and then hope it's going to work, because you could be, pairing up products that with the wrong image the wrong headline, stuff like that. Because within the asset groups, you're also going to feed it headlines, descriptions, long headlines, everything that you normally would a search campaign as well. So you want to make sure that those, actually relate to each other and aren't going to confuse the living crap out of somebody who's seeing the ad where they see, say an image for a shirt, but it's headlines for sweatpants, or completely the wrong headline. But by busting it out into unique asset groups, streamlines it, and then you also get to see which ones work best, right? So you could turn asset groups off, you could turn it back on, and usually kind of go back into the learning phase, but it doesn't really take that long for it to kick back into high gear and start going really good again. So with these Performance Max ads, and I feel weird saying Performance Max over and over and over again, but literally what we're seeing right now is it's very easy to scale these campaigns up to multiple hundreds of dollars per day, keeping a high return on ad spend as long as you're feeding it all of the right info that we've already talked about and the right amount of creatives. It is very easy to scale these up and keep a 3, 4, 5 times return, right? Then that competes with like Facebook. Facebook's very crowded. It's very congested. It can be very expensive. So depending on the time of year, we are seeing costs that are half to 2/3 the cost per conversion of Facebook. Performance Max has been far cheaper. And so we've been running a lot more of those, still keeping a presence on Facebook, but also implementing over here. So with Performance Max, so we can kind of be our clients can be multi-channel, which you're essentially with PMax ads, you're really multi-channel because you're hitting 5 channels at once, right? And that's just driving more and more results, able to scale more and more. So if you're a business owner or a marketer, I would really implore you to dive into PMax ads and see what works, see how you could tweak it, put in creative, what creative works, what creative doesn't. This is going to be the future. I think. We had smart campaigns, which gave it gave too much control to the algorithm. You couldn't really tell anything. You couldn't see much results. Performance Max still gives some control to Google and the algorithm, but you also get to guide it, right? That's the biggest thing, is you get to guide it. So as these get better and better and better over time, I believe we are going to see more PMax style campaigns, or things just being eliminated and really only being able to use Performance Max. It's like, even if you go to do a shopping campaign, it literally asks you, hey, do you want to do OG shopping campaign or do you want to do PMax? Like, we recommend PMax, but you can still choose the old one for now. I'm willing to bet all the old ways of doing things, or old in the sense of like, we can still do them right now, are likely to go away. So as I said, check it out, dive into it, see how you can make it work for your business, for your agency, whatever it is you do. I definitely foresee this being the future. This is a hot trend right now. Over time, it will get more expensive as more and more people actually use it, but get into it. And I'd love to hear how it works for you, down in the comments, via email, however. And, appreciate you hanging in, listening. And I will see you on the next episode of The Rogue Marketer with me, Mitch Barham.